filming Battlestar Galactica, and I would like to know, Katee, what was your favorite part of filming Riddick?
Oh God. They're so, I love that. The movie was so much fun. I mean, it was like me and 12 guys, like, hanging out in Montreal. It's like every girl's fantasy. It's, Lord in heaven, you know, God, I love the big guns. I wish that I could come up with something that actually, like, you know.
You're in Texas, you're fine.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I liked the guns, like these like futuristic guns that like I'd never shot before, and I love working in rain towers. I think that it's one of the most fun things to do ever, because actors are always looking for motivation, and we're always like, what's the motivation? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? It's really hard to be that like stupid when there's rain pouring down on your head. You're like, oh, I just found my motivation. It's like it's literally soaking through my underwear right now, and it kind of textures everything that you do. So I love working in rain. It's the reason I took the Bionic Woman pilot was because I wanted to do a fight scene in rain. I took Battlestar because I got to shoot a gun. I'm very simple. It's very, very simple for the reasons I take jobs. So yeah, that was one of the main things. I love to do that kind of stuff. And then
What do you hear, Starbuck?
Oh Lord, nothing but the rain. People ask me that all the time. That's the first time I actually said that.
Thanks to both of you guys. You're awesome.
Thank you.
How are you?
Hi.
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 I have a question for Katee. You were part of the Women Who Kick Ass panel at San Diego Comic Con, and I was just wondering what you think is changing, the attitudes for sexism in women in the industry, and what you think needs to be changing.
God, I mean, we need a day. You know, it's a weird thing, because at the end of the day, you have to understand that this is a creative business, and we're playing different characters. So not every character you ever play is always going to be respected, or you're going to, you know, you play the gambit of what happens in life. So you're going to touch on sexism, you're going to touch on all these different roles, and so not every character can be a fine, upstanding citizen and a role model for women, because that's not what life is. The sexism in the business is a hard thing to change, because the business is very testosterone heavy, which it's fine. I mean, that's just is what it is, you know? I mean, I don't really have any problems with that, in the sense that that's kind of, you know, you're not always going to walk into the world and have everything easy. You know, life isn't easy, and the things that you want aren't easy. And I've never had, in Hollywood, I've never had that experience of like the casting couch, or feeling like I was talked down to because I was a woman. I think it's because of the roles that I've also played. And I also have come into this business in a very interesting time where the doors had already been opened for more girls. Sarah Michelle Gellar and Lucy Lawless, these characters that came into our homes on a weekly basis in the early 90s, that was the start of it in television. And so it started a long time ago. It's just a long road. Somebody said to me the other day, it was a quote that somebody said about how women, they think that it's, that women should have to go Dutch on everything these days, and that men shouldn't have to open doors for them because women want to be equal and blah, 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 blah. And the woman's quote was, the day I make as much of you as you do at the workplace, y'all open my own goddamn door. So, you know, I mean, but at the same time, you have to understand, it's just different, it's life. We're not, you know, there's not always going to be as many roles for women, because for the most part, men are who go see movies, and statistically, that's what that's who they're trying to target. So it's so messed up. It's a weird thing, and we could talk forever. But that strong women panel was amazing, and it was so much fun to be a part of. And it's just nice to know that while there are not as many of those roles, that they are coming and they are there, and you just have to look for them.
Can I add something to that? I mean,
Yeah.
the thing I noticed, and
Because
I
mine was
worry
not how it was at all.
Not at all.
No, it really wasn't.
Not at all. That's not what I think that if there's a problem with sexism in women, it's we expect women not to age in Hollywood, which I find offensive to me. And I just know, knowing lots of actresses, the pressure that they're under to look younger than they are, and how roles just disappear for women when they sort of approach 40, and very few actresses end up, surviving 40s and 50s, and then they come back at the end. And I think that's wrong. I mean, I live in LA, and I know that, LA is probably the plastic surgery capital of the world, and I'm also a Londoner, so I go home. I can see LA with fresh eyes, and I see how I find it quite sad the way mature women are being pressured to sort of all look alike, and not to to age in the way that maybe that they might. And we don't reflect that on TV, and we don't reflect that on film, and it gets very hard, I think, for actresses to work, and to age naturally. And I find that, sort of very sexist, because it is a male-run industry, and that's the expectations that the male industry puts on casting women.
It is hard, especially, I mean, the body type is really hard to live up to for myself. I mean, I'm the same size now that I was when I was 17. I haven't changed. I mean, the body's shifted slightly. I mean, as women know, in 1 year it's over here and the next year it's over there. But I'm the same size. But I've been told I was overweight and needed to lose weight from the day I showed up in California, and I just haven't done it. But it's been harder, and I've always kind of wondered if I would have lost 20 pounds, maybe my career would be here instead of here. It is hard, because every once in a while I'll sit down and eat a burger, and I'm like, I probably shouldn't be doing this. And that's just too much pressure. It's too much pressure for anyone to live under. But it's, so I don't know. It's a hard industry for women to be in, but it's also hard for men. There's more men with perfect bodies in movies than there are women, to be honest. So.
Anyway, let's start.
Thank you. Such a long-winded answer.
Good question.
I talk a lot when I'm tired.
Hi, my name's Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Nice to meet you guys.
Hi.
As you can tell by the amount of people here, we all think that you're great. Got a question for Katee. I had the opportunity at one of the other conventions here to speak with Summer Glau and to ask her kind of where to start, because I love what you do with Starbuck. You're kicking ass with Vic and Longmire. Those are the kind of roles that I played in college theater. And the reason I want to ask to get another perspective is Summer had said community theater. Start with community theater. You'll get picked up, you'll get noticed, you've got to start somewhere. I'm in the military, and where I go, there isn't always a community theater. What suggestions would you have for somebody that doesn't always have that kind of avenue to kind of start putting themselves out there so we can get picked up? I am not a small-framed woman. I have very broad shoulders. And so the skinny, tiny women roles, I can't make my bone structure any smaller.
Right.
How do you suggest putting yourself out there in those kind of ways to get roles like that in the way that you did? Now, granted, you did say the door was opened by Lucy Lawless and all that way back when, but what do you think?
So it's a hard question, because I don't know, like, being artistic is a very interesting and easy thing to do, because you can do it in your living room. I mean, so it's as far as like finding avenues for you when there isn't an avenue available. Put a video camera in front of yourself and do scenes with friends and see what your face does and see how you react in this situation, that situation. That just like kind of hones your skills and things like that. But as far as like kind of gearing yourself for like a certain role, you just kind of have to stay true to yourself. I mean, if I ever was in this business and they said to me tomorrow that you can't do this anymore because we've decided girls with your body type can't work anymore, I would go find something else to do. So you can't change yourself to be what people want you to do. You can mold yourself into characters. Find what your strength is. My dad always said to me when I moved to California, He said every pretty girl from every high school in the entire world is gonna move to California. You need to know what makes you different and what makes you better than them. And that could be anything. It could be anything, but you have to know what it is, and that's gonna be the thing that you need to kind of hold on to. And community theater is great. I never did theater. So I would suggest, wherever you're at, checking local papers and maybe go in and start doing some extra work as well. I would do that.
Okay.
There's movies shooting all over the world.
Sounds
Or
good.
make your own movie, you can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously, I'm serious.
Wait, with your video camera.
Or get a writer friend and yourself together, make a short film and then put it online.
Put it online. Do something for funny or die.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's what the great thing about the internet now, that you can, everyone can be a filmmaker.
Look at how big, what does the fox say? Went in the past week.
Huh?
Oh God. Do you know what the video What Does the Fox Say is? Just YouTube it later. It's ridiculous. But the point is that little things on YouTube, one person sees and then it gets spread around. So I agree.
It takes one thing, and then all of a sudden you're Justin Bieber. So.
Thank you so much.
Love.
I'm so worried he was going to come tap me on the shoulder and say, we're not going to answer your question. I'll be like, please don't do this to me. It has taken all my power to walk up to this moment.
Just tell the microphone. I've been like, dude.
Just let me talk to her, please! No, seriously, I tweeted on Facebook, I was like, do I get my picture taken with Katee Sackhoff and Bamber? It's like Sophie's Choice. Hi, Hillary, I talk too much.
I never said why.
I was like this when I met Trisha back in February, and she'll tell you this. I was like, diarrhea of the mouth, so
Oh my God, literally almost that you told us you had diarrhea. I was like, wow, we're sharing.
No, diarrhea of the mouth.
Amazing. And I was scared to tell you what happened to me backstage.
Oh, so exciting. We have a moment. So my question is for Katee. Sorry, Jamie.
No worries, all right.
He's used to it. He spent 7 years with me.
Right. So we love you on Battlestar Galactica. We all, so say we all. And obviously I'm wearing a Battlestar Galactica uniform because you're awesome. I love watching you on Longmire. I watch it every Monday night. Oh my God, so amazing. But listen, really, what did you bring me back from Cabo? Guys, come on! That's a really...
I know, the build-up was fantastic. The timing was
amazing.
excellent.
It was amazing build-up. I was just in Cabo San
You guys don't follow Katee on Twitter? Come on. She twits longer for every one of you.
I twit
Google
longer.
right now.
I do. I twit the twat longer.
Thank you.
I thought it was a 3.5-second push-in.
That is something else, Jamie.
Sorry.
You look like you're
yeah. No.
And you're a great Miss October. Just throwing that out there.
Thanks. That's nice.
Did everyone see that once they go on Twitter?
Yeah. That's my touch. I don't even know how to answer that. If you've not been to Mexico, it's completely safe there. You should go.
Don't drink the water.
Don't drink the water. I learned at Thanksgiving last year, don't eat coleslaw at a roadside stand. And then the next morning I went on a fishing boat. I was not throwing up, to bring it back to your beginning of this conversation.
Well, I wanted to ask you something because everybody's always asked about everything else, and so we wanted you to know that not everybody in Texas needs to know about Battlestar Galactica. We love you though, and we're so happy that you're both here.
Thank
We
you so
appreciate
much
you
for having
taking
us.
your time with us. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Listen, can I just say thank you so much? This is, it's incredible to me, 5 years after we finished this show, 10 years after we started, that you guys are all still discovering it, telling your friends about it. The show is still being, it's still living, it's still alive. And
Reunion!
The reunion, right? Well, there have been many and there'll be many more.
I like the fact that little kids now that were too young
Yeah.
to watch it, 8 or 9 year olds come up, 10-year-olds, and they're like, I love the show. I'm like, you were not alive when this started. It's like you immediately start to feel
you are the best, most intelligent, best looking, most rounded, cultured, interesting fans in the world.